All right, Nikki, go.
So we 2 weeks into the lifestyle challenge. And I think in part, this is really like a check-in to see how you guys are coping, how you're feeling physically, mentally, emotionally at this point in terms of the challenge, what extra support we can give you. And then Joe would also like to give you some more feedback around what's in store for the next part of the challenge. So Tyler, I'm going to give you some floor space because I think you might have a lot to say.
I don't really have a lot to say. For me, I don't know if other people would be able to relate to the same challenges that I'm having. For me, it's just commitment. I find doing the exercise much easier than the eating plan, even though it's so basic. And because I don't stick to the one, it makes me despondent to stick to the other. And last week I was ready to quit. Like I had a session on Nikki saying, no, like this is too much. And I just gave it more thought and it's not too much. And yeah, it is completely doable. I give up too quickly. And, if this takes me longer than 6 weeks to adopt the process and the change, then it takes me longer than 6 weeks. So on Wednesday, I didn't want to join in, but that's why I still came online just to show some sort of commitment. I was busy, but I didn't want to do it anyway. And this is something that I've wanted for so long, just to become healthy, not to become like this supermodel or anything like that, just to become healthy. Every week when I speak to Nikki after I've trained, like I feel amazing. I've got so much more like brain power, more energy in the day, and I'm not done yet. I need to carry on trying. So I mean, even if the 6 weeks doesn't go as I planned it to be, you see, because if I don't do things perfectly, then I don't want to do it at all. And then when I start and it's not perfect, then I give up. So I'm just going to take this in my stride and just try and show up to as many things, even with my eating plan. Like, even if I can stick to 2 of the 3 things, it's something. Like the breakfast is completely doable, and the lunch is doable. I mean, it's a toasted sandwich, for goodness sake. Who doesn't like toasted sandwiches? It's not that's it's me in the that's not where I find myself in trouble with the eating. It's the snacking through the day. So I'm just saying, like, if I can stick to 2 out of 3 of those things, then like good going, for now. And even with the training, like I battle to do anything alone. So if I can just stick to my 3 training programs with Joe a week, like then that's also okay for now. And like next week we try for more. The following week we'll try for more. So that's where I'm at.
You really articulate things so well, Tyler. Really amazing.
Thank you.
Real strength.
Yeah, it's good to know where you are, man.
Thank you.
And I from my side, like I think, geez, man, rather like my rule is just keep moving, man. Like it doesn't matter if like the program's there, that like that's the perfect program as such, but do any of us stick to it? Probably not, like as long as you do something, preferably every day, even if it's just a gentle walk, but this week commit to your 3 classes. That's it, like that's all from our side. Commit to those. And as you say, next week, then we can start looking at maybe an extra day of just a 5-minute walk or something, So let's just commit to what's there for now, and one little baby step at a time, hey?
Sure. And Joe, also from my side, I just wanted to say thank you so much for messaging me that day.
My pleasure.
Just showing up. Like, it's like really, this is so amazing. This is actually like a little community, if you think about it. Like, the group goes off consistently, everyone's there for one another. And that day, like, it really means so much to me for you just checking in, you know. Makes you want to stay, you know, the fellowship.
Yeah. And we are
So-
trying to create that lifestyle change, you know, and it means a lot to us. You know, this is why we do what we do. So each person does matter to us. So, you know, when someone
Thank
doesn't make a session or whatever, or doesn't let us know, then we are obviously going to try our best to follow up. So keep going, man. Keep going.
Sure. Thank you.
Cool. Well done, Tyler.
Thanks.
Also, I'd like to tell you that I sat today with Joe after we ran 10 kilometers, which I really didn't want to do, and Joe really like forcefully encouraged me to do, and kept asking me, are you excited? And I was like, no, there's nothing exciting about this. But afterwards I felt like really good, and like we sat having coffee just saying this, you know, our eating sucks.
Yeah.
But the training makes us feel good.
Sure.
So it's definitely like a step in the right direction.
I think what's
Thank
important
you.
is it's a lifestyle change, and it does take
Oh,
time.
I didn't.
But once you're into it, once it becomes a routine, it becomes easier and easier, and you feel better and better, and it just becomes part of your life. It's not having to put your life out to do it.
Yes.
It just becomes into your life, and that does take time. And I know I do a lot. I'm very active. I'm going to do the Friday session after this session, but it's taken me years to get here. It's not something I did overnight. It's just baby steps. And the first few months were hard. Hey? They were hard. But the point is, you showing up, and that's half the work done. Just showing up.
No, for
So
sure.
well done.
And Maz has his own story, which
Thanks,
maybe one
Maz. You
day
give me
he'll share with us. Yeah.
Yeah, my story is quite complicated, but yeah, it's been a long journey, very long journey.
So it is possible.
You see, and ultimately, that's what I want for my life. Like, I want it to be a part of my life, not something that's taking away from my life, you know? I want this. I mean, I want to be, for so many reasons. I mean, I've got a little boy. I want to be able to play with him and play cricket and run and catch, and like, I want that. You know, my life matters. I need to stay alive as long as possible for Jordan.
Is that on your goal sheet?
You know, and
Put that on your goal sheet. There we go.
Yeah, there we go. That's a good one.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So yeah, I mean, I suppose I need to be patient with myself and just keep on trying, you know, not give up. I mean, I will feel like more of a failure if I give up than even if I do this, like, and it's not not at the expectation I wanted it to be at. So yeah.
I'd like to add a little bit to that. You know, there is this fallacy of, you know, starting everything on a Monday. The reality is each day is a new day.
Yes.
And so if I messed up yesterday, that means tomorrow I get to wake up and it's a new day, just like the Monday in my head. And it doesn't matter what happened yesterday. And I also can't rely on yesterday, you know, just because Joe and I and Taryn, you know, ran this challenge, tomorrow morning I could easily message Joe and say, nope, I'm out, you know, and I have to be aware that that is like how my brain tends to work. It's like, okay, you did well, you deserve like a naughty badge, you can stay in bed. And it's I have to like really have a serious conversation with myself to make sure that we keep going. Maz, I don't know if you, I mean, you're quite a seasoned fitness motivator. So I don't know if you want to give us some inspiration or how this last 2 weeks have been for you.
Look, they've been fantastic. I think the group situation always helps because it helps with accountability. Knowing that you showing up not only for yourself, for others, because I think the group activities are fantastic. And again, apologies for not making Friday. It was out of my hands. But that's okay. I missed a session. I will do it tonight. I have a pretty active lifestyle anyway, so I don't beat myself up about days. I don't beat myself up about missing a day because there's always another day. But when it becomes that lifestyle, where it becomes so part of your life, where you actually look forward to it. I mean, yeah, waking up in the freezing winter cold is never fun. But once you're out there and doing it, you feel so alive. And the healthier you get, the more you feel that. So, Tyler, you were saying, you know, obviously you're a parent and you've got some motivation there. You want to go play that cricket, but you want to be able to do it and feel good doing it. You want to run 2 minutes and be out of breath and go, what's wrong with me? And that's what will happen initially. But look forward to a time where you can spend half an hour to an hour just running and having fun. And it just becomes a feel-good thing. It's not work anymore. It's actually fun. And I mean, Taryn, your 45K run or 42K run, whatever it was hard work, but I'm sure you loved it as well. You've got to a fitness level where you thrive on things like that, and that achievement when you finished. I mean, I remember the first time I ran a half marathon. It was just something that it filled me with huge energy, and that's what you look forward to. And yes, there is some hard to get there, but the point is you're doing the hard work already. You're already doing. Here you sit on a Sunday evening having this conversation. That's the hard work. That's the motivation. And yeah, just it's not a race. This is not a race. This is living. This is a thing that's about living every day. The only way you feel good crap days to get out of bed. Just don't actually put on those freaking gym clothes or those running shoes or whatever. Again, that's okay. You're human. You've still got to listen to your body. That's very important. You can't push too hard. Otherwise, you will have a little meltdown. You will fall apart. So if you feel you are pushing too hard, well, then you've got to listen to your body. But sometimes you also need to dig deep, because it's very much a mental game too. Sometimes that little bit of a push is a very, very much a mental game. And we're in a very difficult situation right now. This lockdown hasn't helped anyone. It's put us all in a very weird headspace. So I guess to be emotionally and mentally strong is it's an added challenge. But step up to that challenge. I mean, it's on our plates right in front of us. This is a time to go, gee, the world's saying we've got to change. Let's change. Let's do this. Let's be fit and let's be healthy and have a cheat day. Go eat that burger. Go eat the whatever. But for the rest of the time, enjoy the healthy eating, because healthy food is also fantastic. It is easy to snack. I know I'm terrible. I have no willpower to snacks, but I don't have kids, so my house doesn't have snacks in it. If I want to snack at midnight, it's fucking carrots, it's apple, it's celery. I'm practically vegan, so don't come to my house looking for snacks. You'll find chickpeas and hummus and kale. But I love it. I love it, and I love cooking. I get great pleasure out of my food. It's very healthy food most of the time. But do you know what? There are days when I go, screw it, and I'll go down to the freaking petrol station. I go buy myself a packet of Fritos, and I won't feel guilty about that, because my body says, maybe I need the salt. Maybe I need something. So that's okay. So don't beat yourself up about the times when you don't. Congratulate yourselves on the times
you
that you
eat
do.
the breakfast.
And right now you do. You're sitting there right now.
That's
Thank you.
cool. Thanks,
That was
Maz.
great.
I'll share my story one day. I had a rough ride. I had a couple of years of being bedridden, and it wasn't fun, I promise you.
Sure.
And that's got to do with health. It's got to do with managing stress. It's got to do with managing one's eating. I lived a terribly unhealthy lifestyle, not in the fitness sense. I've always been fit, but into the stress sense and the drinking too much. And I was a chain smoker, and I went through a stressful period, and I got sick, and I was sick for 2 years, and it was horrible. It was awful. It feels like dying every day. And to be able to live, I wake up every morning with a smile on my face. I don't care whether I've got no money or whatever, but I've got a roof over my head. I've got amazing people in my life, and that gratitude for that, and that gratitude for health now. It's, it's something very special.
It is very inspiring at the same time. Thanks, Maz.
Joe, do you want to fill us in about what we can expect this week?
Fabulous. So still Monday, Wednesday, Friday training programs. Obviously, we need to make sure we do progressive overload. It's a training method that we use to ensure that the body adapts. Otherwise, the body kind of gets used to the same program. I don't normally adapt programs within 2-week cycles. But because you're doing a 6-week, I just accelerated the progressions a little bit. It's nothing major. It's basically just changing the structure of the workouts. So Monday is an anterior day, which is the front part of the body. So that's basically going to be chest, biceps, shoulders, and quads, mirror muscles. They're the ones that everyone enjoys. Wednesdays is posterior. Let me just double check. Wednesdays legs. Okay, so as opposed to doing Friday legs before the long weekend runs, we're going to do legs on a Wednesday, which is, I think, a little bit better for most of the runners. And then Friday is going to be posterior, which is back, triceps, hammies, and glutes. Okay, obviously with a bit of cardio and abs thrown in between. Tuesday is the HIIT session as opposed to Thursday, which was the HIIT session. And then Thursday and Saturday are the cardio low and slow sessions. So yeah, I think most people are battling more with the cardio at this stage. Also, but obviously just let me know if you need help with that. And then also, what was the other thing I wanted to say? Evening classes. So it looked like everyone seemed to vote for the evenings. So it's going to be Monday, 6:30. Unfortunately, that is my earliest slot on a Monday. Wednesday, normal time at 6, and Friday at 4. Okay, so those are, for the rest of the challenge, going to be the times. I will also just pop those on the group. So an exciting next 2 weeks, preparing us for the final 2 weeks, which is going to be a bit of a push. So T, let's get your mind nice and strong and ready. But for this week, just come to the classes, and then, yeah, take, as Maz says, you know, get those gains, man. Just congratulate yourself on just showing up, man. It's half the battle anyway. So
Thank you.
cool.
It really, it's an absolute, like,
Yes.
it's just a mind game. You know, last night I had to tell myself I was allowing myself some carbo loading before my big run.
Yeah.
Carbo loading. What
Carbo
was it?
loading. Basically.
And it's just having a conversation in my head the whole time. You know, I read something really interesting this week that said, when you think you're done, you're actually only about 40% done. And you can still push yourself like so much more, you know, because your head gives up way before your body does.
Check your heart rate. When your heart rate is low and you think you're done, you ain't done.
Yeah, exactly.
You're not even close to done.
I do want to add to something that's been discussed earlier. You talk about the 6-week program, and I think it's magnificent, and I think it's great that it is 6 weeks because it makes it manageable. But I don't think anyone here should look at that 6 weeks as an end goal. That end of the 6 weeks is called the beginning goal. This is the start of a lifestyle change, and that end of 6 weeks is a platform to continue it. Even though the program ends, it means your life has a stepping stone to go on to something greater, which I think is awesome. Really awesome.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Will there be a second cycle of this?
We'll make a second one for you, Tyler.
So make a program that's sustainable for you to make that lifestyle change. You know, like from our side, you know, like I never want to be that that person who just does challenges the whole time, you know, because as Maz says, that's not the lifestyle change. You know, you have, I call it like challenge pigs. You just go do challenges the whole time, challenge. And it's obviously because they can't get their head around or whatever, their body around making that lifestyle change. That's why we actually called it a lifestyle challenge. It's not a weight loss challenge. It's not a this challenge. You know, it's a lifestyle challenge because our goal by the end of the 6 weeks is to, as Maz says, get you to that starting point of the rest of your life. If you're not there yet, that's why obviously you've got us to then, okay, what's the next step, basically. So if we need to do another one for you, Tyler, we will.
What I find helps a lot is, as much as I love running by myself, and it's this period where I can actually digest and focus, having running partners and cycling partners helps me a lot because I've got a beautiful group of people that I run with. I've got a cycling partner, and again, I'm accountable to someone else. So yesterday's ride, I knew it was going to be challenging. To do 90 Ks of trail riding is hard, but because I was doing it with someone else, I had to show up. I could not let that person down. So I didn't let myself down either. So that is also part of it. So if you can find a group, and I mean, Joe's joined us for a couple of our runs and rides, and that won't stop. And there's various fitness levels. This is not a race. Some people run faster than others. Some people cycle faster than others. It's just showing up, getting out there and doing it. And having a group of people like that is so motivational, no matter what the fitness level is. It's just unbelievable. So, Carla, if you can find I mean, I don't know where you live. If you want to come join us at the Cradle sometime for a walk, come see the rhino, see the giraffe, come just get outdoors, and it's going to be a hard walk, and then maybe it's going to be a jog, and maybe it's going to be a run. So you just join a good group of people, all with the same mindset of this healthy lifestyle, and it helps so much as well.
Yes. Where do you stay, Maz?
I'm in Olivedale.
Ah, okay. Far away from me.
Where are you?
In Bedford View.
It's not that far. The highway's quick, eh?
No, it's not so far, but I was thinking about like a daily walker friend.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
I'm sure they'll find someone close.
Yeah.
Plenty.
It's also part of why we're starting this community. because everyone's on a different level, you know, like in the class on Friday, like we're all at different places, different paces. You know, Joe and I were laughing today. I've noticed like a million people running past us. We didn't even say anything. We just kept going, you know. The people that are running fast are doing like 2 minutes something per K, and we're doing like 9, you know, and it doesn't matter. Like we're having fun.
Yeah.
Like we're out there and we're doing it. So you got to find people.
There's always someone faster than you. That's the reality. There's always someone stronger than you, faster than you, fitter than you. It's okay.
Always,
That's
always,
what it is.
yeah. 100%.
So
Lala, there's this really nice group, Catch Me If You Can. It's a bunch of ladies. They're on Facebook. They're in all the areas. There's leaders, and you can join them. Hey?
No, I was going to say bunch of ladies, Catch Me If You Can.
Maz is in, yeah.
Yeah, so it's only ladies, and there's groups in all the areas that you can join for walking, for running, or whatever.
Thank you.
Have schedules and stuff. It's really cool. They've also got WhatsApp groups and stuff.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the information.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Thanks, T.
So on that note, I want to say let's go into tomorrow strong and look with our head in the game, and not just about the training, but just about our lifestyle and what we want and what we're prepared to put on the table in order to get what we want. You know, I always think like we want stuff for free. But the reality is, even if I feel like that packet of Fritos chips, I have to drive myself to the garage. I have to like choose them from the shelf. I have to pay for them. There's always something I have to do in order to get what I want.
Yeah, that's
and I need to.
True.
I have to keep reminding myself, you know,
that is so
if
true.
I want something, I've got to put in the effort.
No, no, for sure, for sure.
Awesome.
Cool, guys.
Really. Have
Thank
a
you.
great
Thank you so
Sunday.
much.
Got a dash. Have an awesome Sunday Eve, guys.
Have
Incoming
fun,
call.
Maz.
Bye, guys.
Good time. See you guys tomorrow.
Bye.
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 Bye, Maz. Thank you, Nikki.